the Luxemburg-Casco defense. A senior defensive back, number 3, Mason Burmeister. Senior linebacker, number 4, Braden Rhodes.
Got him.
Junior linebacker, number 9, Julian Bailey. Senior defensive back, number 12, Mason Trimberger. Sophomore linebacker, number 20, Ben Klaas. Senior linebacker, number 22, Rawdon Tank. Senior defensive back, number 23, Cameron Dorner. Junior linebacker, number 59, Ethan Werner. Senior lineman, number 60, Donovan Schmelzer. Senior linebacker, number 67, Kelvin Henderson. And senior linebacker, number 77, Miles Jardine. The Spartans are coached by Neil Sealing. His assistants, Greg Kaufbach, Justin Chalik, Cody Willems, Walt Tenner, Trevor Hockey, Ryan Scanlon, Evan Whitmire, Tyler Jarden, Mike Snowberry, Craig Theory, Brian Kaler, Dean Schmerchek, and Lane Trimberger. And now, here's the starting defense for your 2025 Plymouth Panthers. Junior linebacker number 3, Josh Watkins. Junior linebacker number 11, Cole Kuhn. Senior defensive back number 15, Caden Schultz. Senior defensive back number 19, Tyler Williams. Senior defensive back number 23, Aiden DeMont. Junior linebacker number 28, Maximo Troca. Junior linebacker number 32, Charlie Nass. Senior linebacker number 34, Devin Miller. Senior linebacker number 35, Sawyer Volpago. Senior lineman number 42, Nate Hunsell. And senior lineman number 44, Nolan Ritchie. Our head coach is Mark Robert. His assistants, Mitch Adams, Fernando Alvarez, Kyle Friedrichs, Dale Kron, Spencer Robert, Ben Canals, Jordan Miller.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Plymouth Community Television and Plymouth Panther football coming to you on a beautiful Halloween night. Scott Richards, Aaron Martell, Kurt Zolb, Emerson Cotter in the studio. It's a nice night. We're ready for Division II football. Aaron?
Yeah, Scott, it's going to be just amazing to be able to see Plymouth Panthers have coming in here at 9-0, 10-0 now, and just being able to really dominate tonight. I love the fact that we got the black and the orange, and I have a feeling it's not going to just be a trick or treat. It's going to be a treat all night.
Well, we both saw some of the data on Luxemburg-Casco. We played them last year in the playoffs.
First round, yeah.
First round, and beat them. It was a good game, but we jumped on them early. That's one thing I remember. They've always been tough years ago for the old fellas, maybe even older than me, that were in the old conference. We played them on a regular basis. They've always been well coached. There's always been tough kids. We're a 2 seed. They're the 3 seed. They come from a conference that had 2 real nice teams in Freedom and Little Chute, whom they lost to. They are 8-2 on the season, and we right now are 10-0. So should be a good ball game. And the Panthers are going to kick, which would indicate to me they deferred and want the ball to start the second half. But it should be a good ball game. Landon Yerk ready to kick. He's done a nice job all year. Changes it up a little bit. And ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Little pool. Oh, he hits the dead spot. That is nice. And that's a great
big hit right there. Again, Cole Kuhn, one of the biggest hitters on defense, coming from that position on kickoff. Just a great start to kind of.
He's like a torpedo.
He really is. He gets shot out of that rocket, right?
He just comes flying down. That was designated. I got to believe, once again, scouting tape helps. And he did a great job punching it because where the lines are laid up. So the Panthers start on defense. LC has the ball. And away we go. Coming to us, they're at the 23-yard line, their own 23.
So, Scott, what you're going to see tonight is you're going to see Luxemburg-Casco come out with 2 quarterbacks. You're going to see number 4, Braden Lawrence. He's the running quarterback. And whenever they see him, they're going to try and put 8 in the box. You're also going to see number 6, Eli Doreen, who's going to come in. He's primarily their passer. And so the passer's in there now. They're going to drop back, put 2 safeties back. So it's going to be a lot of communication on the defense.
And they've been doing it all year, so they're used to it. Not the Panthers, but I mean Luxemburg-Casco switching people around a little bit. So they gave up about 2, maybe 2. I think it's going to be third and 5.
And that is their second leading rusher, number 23, Carmen Dorner, that you have to keep an eye on too. He's got 730 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns, and so setting up 3rd and 6.
So they're all big plays. You get to this level, you can turn so quickly. But the Panthers have been playing good football. They got trips down at the bottom of the screen. We look a little confused here. And, I tell you, they had us confused.
There was a confusion. They brought a guy on late, but thankfully Charlie Nass was able to stay home, break up that ball just off his fingertips. That would have been quite the start compared to last week's game where we started the game with a pick 6 on the 3rd play of the game as well. So sets up 4th and 5 for Luxemburg-Casco as they come in to punt the ball.
Okay. DeMonk deep for the Panthers. He's been there all year, does a nice job. Again, there's not much, the flag's not moving. There's a little breeze where we are.
In the nosebleeds and then some.
Closer to the moon. Good discipline. Not a great kick. Just get what you can. In DeMonk, they get to the outside. Come on, buddy, keep going. There you go. Great job. Gets it to the 50-yard line where the Panthers will start 1st and 10. Want to remind you that we cannot read ads. It's a WIA-sponsored event. Technically, we do pay to broadcast it at all, and we have to pay more to run the ads. So we appreciate our sponsors like crazy. They were great for us all year, and we'll see them again during the basketball season. But here we go.
Now, offensively, Scott, they really want to pound the ball. I mean, obviously, with Devin Williams, we want to be able to do that, but I think they're going to come at it from a variety of different angles. If it's Cole Kuhn, if it's Caden Schultz, if it's doing some jet sweeps with Josh Watkins, they're wanting to pound the ball, use their speed and size and offense to gain that advantage. And they start out with Cole Kuhn.
Good play. It was a good play, probably let it go a little bit late, and a great defensive play.
It really was, and that's one of those kind of the trickerations that you wanted to see early on. You had Cole Kuhn taking that direct snap, who is typically your fullback, rolling out, and then Caden Schultz, who's now your quarterback because Augie went down with an injury, was on that route, and just a little bit underthrown, but
It was. Again, it was a little underthrown. Again, Cole Kuhn has a good arm.
Absolutely.
The defensive player did a good job. Give him some credit. And so we got 2nd and 10.
When you're expecting Devin Miller in the middle and all of a sudden they try and do that, it would have been a great job.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got a lot of guys lining up. We go out a little bit wider, bring one of the corners out of it. Single back.
Under the
toss to Miller. Now he's throwing it back to Schultz this time. Schultz does not get a 1st down, but takes it about to the 42, would make it 3rd and 2. Well, I'll tell you what, we didn't wait.
We did not have those on the bingo cards. 2 passes by our running backs to Caden Schultz, our quarterback / wide receiver. It makes sense. His height, his speed. He has the most yards receiving and now shifted to quarterback. But mixing things up, keeping them on their toes. I think they're also wanting to be able to open up that middle because Devin Miller just loves running up that middle and then jetting out to the outside.
So 3rd and 3, this may well be 4 downs here. I don't know, but Kuhn is going to carry it, and Kuhn is going to get
First
there.
down. Yep.
I'll tell you, he's going to get that extra yard.
Well, what was great about that is that they began to close the outside. He took one step, and then he hit the hole, was able to get enough for that first down to keep the chains rolling.
North-south, and he knows what he is. I mean, he's not slow by any means, but he knows what he is. He turns those shoulders. There was contact before he got the first down. He just carried the guy. 1st and 10 at the 40 of Luxemburg-Casco, the Spartans.
So Devin Miller's coming under center, taking the snap.
Oh, he picks up about 7 yards.
There was not a lot of space there, but he runs so hard and he's so shifty. He took that ball from under center and was able to gain 7+ yards.
Well, he's just strong from the hips down. He's 5'11". They list him at 180. I'll bet he's all of that, but he's more than just fast. He can cut. He runs hard. He can catch the ball. That time he can go under center. We haven't really done anything traditional yet, have we?
We have not.
That's okay. Makes it more fun.
Parker Bursch, inside handoff, cuts outside.
And there he goes.
There it is.
Laying down the
Come
sideline.
Come on.
Maybe
man,
at the
that
one.
was so close.
He didn't.
Got to give props to number 23, Cameron Dorner, who was able to have the angle to tackle him at the 5-yard line, setting up 1st and goal at the 5.
I thought he got a little closer, but that referee was right there. So Panthers 1st and goal at the 5 with 8:29 to go in the first quarter. The Plymouth Panthers versus the Luxemburg-Casco Spartans. The East Central Conference versus the Northeastern Conference. Again, we used to play these teams. It's back in the 70s, and we got out of that in the very early 80s or 80. Wildcat for Miller. Comes up the middle.
Direct snap to Devin Miller.
He didn't hardly get touched. Give that offensive line some credit. Touchdown Panthers. Will bring on the extra point team.
Yeah, again, exactly what you want to prescribe. You start out with a 3-and-out for Luxemburg-Casco and our defense shutting them down in their running game, and then taking the ball at the 50, creating 3 kind of different trick plays, so to speak, to start, but then it's just pound the ball, and now we are up 6-0, hopefully 7-0 here.
York's up,
and there
kick
it
is up, and it is good. 7-0 Panthers with 8:26 to go. You talked about they're going to hammer the ball. Well, they had a halfback pass, a halfback go under center. But, hey, this is the playoffs. You're one and done here. There's no reason to wait till the 4th quarter.
There really isn't, and I think that is what's interesting is that you had 3 different guys go take the snap. You had Cole Kuhn in that shotgun formation, Devin and Caden Schultz coming underneath center. That means that the defense has to pay attention to all the different ways of where the ball is going to come from. And even Devin being able to take one under center, scurry back just a little bit, and then shoot the hole. It's just like, it's unorthodox, but it is working because it's catching the defense off guard.
It was a 7-yard gain, which could have been
a
1 or 2.
Loss, right?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
1 and 2.
It wouldn't have been much.
Absolutely.
So LC, now again, that first kick, I think they must have scouted. I know they watch film. Everybody does. Where the receivers are at about the 15, and they dropped it. York did a heck of a job, but that was the plan.
It was just like your pitching wedge from about 75 yards out, wasn't it? Just dropping it right there.
But then he'd had it over in those trees.
Oh, that way.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
That's
okay.
where mine would have been.
Good full kick.
Fielded at the 12. Panther stopped at about the 26-yard line by the Panther kickoff team.
Yeah, that was a great job. You saw Dylan Smith as that gunner. He actually ran past, came back. Luxemburg-Casco ran into the pile. He made the tackle behind him.
Well, I'll tell you what, and don't, even in high school, that's the 3rd part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. Ours have had 2 great kickoff coverages so far.
So here we have the passing quarterback coming in.
Yep. Thank you. Good run right up the middle. Now that's where we have had a little bit of trouble. It's been seems between the guard inside the tackles. 2nd one, good run by Luxemburg-Casco.
And you almost wonder if their pursuit, because they're so quick off the ball, if their pursuit is pulling them out of the holes versus being able to stay that hole contained, kind of glob it up in the middle.
Luxemburg-Casco is a pretty well-balanced team, offensively, running and passing.
Reverse pass.
Well, Caden was looking in the backfield and forgot to go with the receiver, but he was back there with them. So
Luxemburg-Casco shows a little trickeration as well with that reverse pass.
That receiver was open.
He was open.
He should have had it, actually. But
setting up 3rd and 1.
Hey, that's a good call, 3rd and 1. I've said this to people, and I haven't said it here yet. Luxemburg-Casco's always been well coached. I haven't seen him much in the last number of years, but first down.
Braden Lawrence on the quarterback keeper goes over right guard for a.
So starting defense for your Plymouth Panthers, number 3, Josh Watkins, number 9, Parker Bursch, number 11, Cole Kuhn, number 15, Caden Schultz, number 19, Tyler Williams, number 23, Aiden DeMonk, number 28, Maximo Troco, 32, Charlie Nass, number 34, Devin Miller, 35, Sir Vopago, number 42, Nate Hessel, and number 44, Nolan Ritchie.
Quick out to the slot receiver.
Good tackle by Parker Bursch right there.
Good, the way we had that play, that was a very good play call, because I don't know if he came up and it's probably a read, but that guy's going to get 5 yards. He ended up getting 8. So 2nd and 2 at the 45-yard line. Second possession by Luxemburg-Casco. Panthers scored on their first drive.
And what's interesting, Scott, is they keep both quarterbacks on the field. So the one quarterback, number 6, Eli Doreen, he's always out there, as well as number 4, Braden Lawrence, which is the runner, which you'll see him coming in motion. But
yep, the running quarterback faked the jet sweep. That was, and it's another first down for Luxemburg-Casco, right up the middle. So they are still in Luxembourg LC territory at the 48. Start a nice drive for the Spartans. Well, they throw some things at you, though. And I think right now our heads are on the swivel just a little bit.
Yep, absolutely.
It starts with dominating that line. Get some penetration off of the line. Like that.
Yep, good job. Well, what's really interesting in that is that the slot receiver, Parker Bursch, was over the top of him, but he was 15 yards off, because they know that in that setup, they're going to run the ball. And so they're trying to squeeze as many into the box as they possibly can. If I'm Luxemburg-Casco, I'm throwing a little dummy route to number 1, because look how far off he's playing right now.
And that's what they did earlier.
Correct. There he is.
Yeah, they're close to a first down.
Pass is complete to Trimberger.
Yeah, you're right. The coaches saw what we were running. And
so I think you have to make that adjustment, at least create a little bit more press coverage. Our guys are fast enough to be able to make that coverage, so don't give so much distance within that. 3rd and 2. Unfortunately, defensive offsides. So unlike the NFL, where you can get back before the ball is snapped, here, as soon as you cross the neutral zone on defense, automatic 5 yards, which will be a first down for the Spartans.
And their first foray into Panther territory. As I said, we look a little bit head on a swivel. They're running different patterns. Like if you look on the top of the screen, there's going to be somebody open on that side.
Ball.
Oh. Okay, we didn't get the ball, but we knocked them back 10 yards.
Green tried to go ahead
so it would be a lot better to get the ball, but to knock them back 10 yards is a big help.
Yeah, Sawyer Vopago put the hit on the
he did.
Number 6, Eli Doreen, knocked that ball loose, and unfortunately we didn't have any Johnny on the spot to pick that up, but a nice 10-yard loss.
So 2nd and 20. Single receiver at the top. I think they've got, and they're going to load the right side for sure. Yeah, now we're back.
Yeah.
It's a quick slant.
So again, a big play, but unfortunately for the Panthers, they had 2 wide receivers that were back, which is illegal formation. So 5 yards back
Right.
is going to be 2nd and 25.
Right. Oh, and they got it.
Procedure is indicated
I didn't know they got it.
Luxemburg-Casco. That's a
But I tell you, like we said, that quarterback throws the ball well.
Yeah.
That quick slant's there.
That's why I'm going to be interested to see if Coach Christian Volbrecht, who is the D-back coach, the defensive back coach, if he's going to do a little bit of adjustments with our corners and even bringing our safeties up a little bit. I'm not worried about the deep ball, okay, because our guys are that fast. And so be able to create a little bit of pressure up front so they don't get a 10-yard route and run. I'll give them 3 yards, but I don't want that 10-yard out and run.
They, I know Christian worries about that deep pass, but what they've got us thinking a little bit, and that's okay. Well, like you said, we'll figure it out. The coaches will figure it out.
Yeah, see, it already looks like they've adjusted. They brought Aiden DeMonk up. I think that's Aiden on the outside. Kane up, yep. Good adjustment. Oh.
Straight ahead.
Yeah, I tell you what.
A couple tackles finally stacked up by the Panthers.
So they picked up about 5 on the play, picked up the penalty, so third and 20. Now, the way they're setting up, I think, I'm thinking we're a little concerned about sending a linebacker because we don't quite know. I mean, they're spreading us out, which is smart.
Absolutely. So yeah, trips left, single receiver out to the bottom of your screen. Here comes the rush. Devin Miller up the middle. Breaks loose.
Now they're going to go for it. We missed two. That kid's, I tell you, that kid's a nice athlete because those are 2 tackles. They were arm tackles, so they're in our territory at the 37. They're down to 4 and about 7.
4th and 7.
35, 34-yard line. The 4th and.
That's where, and you played football, you know, you have to come a little bit under control. Quarterback did a good job getting out of trouble. So, 4th and 7.
Nice breakup play on Maximo Troca.
That was a great play by Maximo Troca. He went for the ball, not the man. The Panthers held. Luxemburg-Casco had a nice drive. Thank you for that long fumble.
Absolutely.
But they got right in it. So we're in for a fight. 3:09 to go in the first quarter. Panthers take over at their own 34-yard line. 7-0 PHS.
But again, I think the defense did a great job of adjusting. They saw that they were trying to take advantage of some things underneath. They brought things up, and now let's see if we can respond with another 7 points.
It hurts when you're down 1. Miller up the middle. They got it stopped.
Yeah.
They stood up the linemen. When you stand up a lineman, you're going to be in pretty good shape.
And that could be a challenge, too. You had your player coming in a little bit late. They're trying to get the play to him. And so a little bit of disorganization there, making that transition from 4th down to now our ball. So we'll see how they adjust. Again, they're going to pack as many as they can into that box. Within 3 to 5 yards, within the tackles.
Cut it off a little short. That was a good throw. The receiver just cut it off a little short.
Yeah, good coverage by the Spartans there.
It's probably a hold right where the flag is sitting.
Flag on the play.
So right now it'll be 2nd and 9. If they take the penalty, it'll be 2nd and 19.
Well, it will be interesting because it would be 3rd and 9, or give them another chance at 2nd and 19, and it's
they're taking it.
2nd and 19.
That's right. It's a spot foul. So
holding is indicated against Plymouth. That's a 10-yard penalty. It'll be 2nd and 20.
Now, if you're the defensive coach, you want to tell them watch for a screen, watch for.
Caden kept it.
Schultz.
Good block. Get on the outside.
He's still going. They knocked him out of bounds, but
That was good. I love that play because they faked it to Devin Miller at the
and
middle.
everybody went after him.
But then all the wide receivers that were split out to the right sealed that block, and Caden Schultz was able to run for 15 yards before he even got touched, and then just used his athleticism to be able to get an additional 10 yards.
You used to tease somebody, you're a wide receiver. They're a wide receiver that blocks.
Absolutely.
So big gain for the Panthers down to the LC 41-yard line. A big Caden Schultz carry. 1st and 10. It was a great
Nice tackle. Yeah, very nice tackle by the Spartans. Cameron Dorner.
So picked up about 2 yards, 2nd and 8. Linebacker squeaked out. It was a good play. So 2nd and 8, 155 as the clock just looks. In the 4th quarter, Plymouth up 7-0. Same backfield, Kuhn, Schultz, and Miller. Flanker on the top, tight end on the right side.
Eat it.
Well, he didn't pick up a lot, but he picked up a yard anyway.
I know that he can do a no-look pass in basketball pretty easily, but doing a no-look pass in football, it's a little bit more risky there. But again, his athleticism, thankfully Devin was paying attention. Gain of 2 yards will take it, setting up 3rd and 6.
Instead of about a 13-yard loss. Well, it had been great coverage. You know, it was good coverage by LC. He didn't throw it away, picked up 2 yards. I think if they pick up 3-4 here, it's 4 downs for sure. Miller up the middle. Yep, it's going to be about 4th and 1.
Comes up short of 1st down yardage by a yard. It'll be 4th and 1.
So
I would have loved to have seen him make that cut outside versus inside. I saw an alley way up here in the nosebleed section that he'd still be running if. But here we go, pound it down. This is an offensive line down right here.
It sure is. Well, they're loading it up. I think Kuhn got it.
So Cole Kuhn comes in motion and then goes underneath center. Takes that snap.
I'm looking at the official. That's a 1st down.
Yeah, it should be just short of the 30, which would be that 1st down.
We aren't going to need a measurement.
1st down.
1st down, Plymouth Panther.
It's a big play. People don't realize. So they had the offense got what they got. They got a yard out of it.
Absolutely.
You're right. That's a lineman's play. It's a lineman's dream in a way. 35 seconds could be the last play of the 1st quarter. Miller comes in under Wildcat. Fakes it, tries to get outside, and he does. He's going to get down. He's going to pick up about 7 yards. Went out of bounds, so there should be one more play in the 1st quarter. So if they're at the 23, gain of, I think it was about.
Yeah, it sets up 2nd and 8. Again, Devin is able to go underneath center, and then he almost does like a bubble to be able to create space. And then that allows him to be able to see the field just a little bit better, and then use his speed and his strength to get that additional 7 yards.
LC 23, excuse me.
Cole.
Nice play again. Oh. Ooh. Well, level 2 playoff, little shove and sideline. I wouldn't call it either.
Yeah, number 12, Mason Trimberger, is their leading tackler. He also leads the team with 3 interceptions, so he's very active, maybe a little too active there.
Yeah, as I say, you get probably here, you're going to tell him don't do it again. But he was out of bounds when he got shoved, no question about it. So we're at the We got to get to the, from what I can see, the 21. Kuhn's carrying off the side, and he is going to be stopped. There's nothing there.
Yeah, big old number 77 came in there for the Spartans, Miles Jandrin.
So it's going to be 4th and 1 again.
That's going to be end of the first quarter. Again, your Plymouth Panthers are up 7-0. We're going to switch fields, setting up 4th and 1.
Well, what you've seen in the first quarter is this team is no patsy. They have defended the pass very well. That play, they stopped them. They beat somebody up front, and there was no room for Kuhn. He picked up a yard. That was a tough yard. So we're going to start the second quarter up 7-0, 4th and 1 at should be the LC 22-yard line. No wind, so that doesn't make any difference unless you like one half of the field better than the other. I sometimes on that, like, because Kuhn is such a good blocker, where Miller can gets that extra blocker. Kuhn runs hard. It was just nothing there for him.
Yeah. Again, those are the ones where you have to be able to win at the point of attack. Our O-line versus their D-line. But again, they're going to put 7, 8 guys in that box to be able to clog up that middle. And we wanted to pound it, and we just wanted to see where our guy is going to be just a touch better than theirs, and they held us.
Now, the spot is a little further back than what the yard marker would indicate. What's at the 22? We get to the 21. Okay. So, on that too, the lineman I think the lineman made the tackle slanted hard inside, because we tend to run off tackle more than inside the tackle. Like I've said, they're a well-coached team. So you got a bunch of athletes in the backfield, a quarterback, a running back, and a fullback. We're going to have
Miller under center. The Plymouth push. It looks like we have. It's going to be close, but I think we have enough for a first down.
No. I think the flag just fell out. No, there's not a penalty. The ball. I tell you, this is a right foot, left foot. I'll tell you on this one.
The flag is picked up. There's no penalty on the play.
I think we had to get past the 21, and I think we're on the 21. Timeout for measurement.
I don't like that.
There is an official timeout for a measurement.
So again, right now it's depending on which foot they marked it at, if it's going to be enough for us to be able to get a first down. Call in a favor. First down by
that's
3 inches.
It only had to make it by an inch.
They only had to make it just by
I
the
said
nose
right.
of the ball.
That was a right foot spot. Thank you very much.
Correct. So again, they wanted to be able to see our guy is going to beat your guys. I definitely, and they did. And so now we set up 1st and 10. Again, start of the second quarter.
1st and 10, yep.
Panthers up 7-0.
Again, like I said, we knew this was going to be a good team. Their record, their 2 losses were to 2 very good teams. Schultz, Kuhn, and Miller in the backfield all again. Those are the mistakes you just don't want to make right now.
Indicated against the Plymouth Panthers, that will be a 5-yard penalty. It will be 1st and
Get down here, that's a huge 5 yards. But that play's over. Just step it up. So it makes it 1st and 15 for the Panthers. Now it's at the 26. Wide to the top, Aiden DeMonk. I think Aiden has going for him. He's about 6'3". Miller up the middle.
That was a great play. You had Parker Bursch going in motion, and the defense followed the motion, and Devin was able to run free for 7 yards to make this a 2nd and 8.
Yep, and the safeties made a good job collapsing. I mean, he really didn't, once he got through, he didn't really have a chance to cut either way the way the safeties played it. They're playing well on defense. But we're moving the ball. 2nd and 8 inside the 20. Miller and Schultz alone. Bursch at the bottom of your screen goes in motion. I'll tell you what, their left side of their defensive line right now is winning.
Yeah, big old number 77, Miles Jandrin, is really dominating that line.
It's third and long 6 again, 4 downs. This is I know York has a good leg, but this would be in this cold weather. That'd be a pretty good distance. So we're going in that triple. I'm going to guess somebody's going to go out in motion somewhere here. As always, I'm wrong.
Aiden. Oh man, there's my fandom coming out again.
Oh,
Caden Schultz really
was
well.
open.
Aiden coming on the backside of a post, and unfortunately just a little high.
Yep,
That would have been another 7.
That would have been. You're not going to punt it, so you're gonna go for it on 4th and 7. He got it 4th and 6. That's a long 6.
I don't mind this call. I
Here
think
we go.
You're trusting your defense if they don't get it. I think you get something creative here. I definitely look for Cole Kuhn on a drag route.
Right on a button. Wow. Made up for it. Dylan Korthels right on the screws. And give that line credit. They brought a backer, and they held him off. Panthers score again. The same pattern, different player, I think. Oh, you're in the kick. Panthers up 13-0. 10 minutes to go in the first half. Snap to Schultz is great. Kick is up. Kick is good. 14-0 Panthers over the Luxemburg-Casco Spartans on a very, very nice drive after the defense held. So, yeah, they... You know, you got a little cough there because we were a little nervous.
Well, I got a little excited there, and my cough drop did not work, so I apologize if you heard me coughing back here. I did the best that I could. But what was great about that is that Dylan has led the team in total receptions. He struggled the last handful of games, but they didn't give up on him. And they got that post pattern, which they missed on the previous play with Aiden. And Caden's like, I want this one back.
But it was there.
It was fantastic.
It was. That was right. That couldn't have been thrown any better.
No.
So
great response, unlike myself. So 14-0 Plymouth Panthers are midway through the start of the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean they had to gut some things out. They had when they have the procedure, nobody tries to do it. It's a mistake. Put it back in the vault, forget it, and then go on and play. But Luxemburg-Casco has done some good things. They're not rolling over, which nobody expected that. York to kick. First one was kind of a poocher that dropped. Now they've backed up a little bit. I don't know if he would try that again.
Yeah.
The whistle comes. Here we go. Oh, just kicks it normally right at the 12. And a good return out to about the 33. So a good return. Dorner is kind of a key player for Luxemburg-Casco. So they're at the 33, 1st and 10. Again, Luxemburg-Casco had a good drive. The big thing that happened on that last drive for them was a fumble that cost them 12 and then a penalty. Good scramble by the quarterback. Okay, so 1st and 10, LC. Again, we're moving around more than a little bit here. Play up the middle, which is...
Handoff is straight ahead to Braden Lawrence.
Yeah, that's the running quarterback. Again, they're able to have that passing quarterback taking it, running quarterback in the backfield. And Dylan Lawrence, he's 6'3", 215. He's a big kid, be able to take that ball and run hard. They're setting it up again. That mix, make them guessing.
If you can get penetration right away. Well, another run,
nice
3 or 4.
Devin Miller with that nice tackle. He grabbed on, tried to make a strip of it, but was able to hold on enough to set up 3rd and a long 4.
So 3rd and 4. Luxemburg-Casco at their own 39-yard line. 8:58 to go as I'm looking at the clock. Panthers up 14-0. Now they put the second quarterback. Oh, nice tackle. Devin Miller.
I think Braden Lawrence saw a gap in the gap.
He did. I saw a gap.
With Devin Miller meeting him in the hole.
I think
no gain, if not a loss of a half.
I think his angle on Lawrence, he didn't see him. It was like, where'd you come from?
Yeah, that was a great
Nonetheless,
play.
now be careful. Even though it's at the 39, 4th down, 4th and 4. Luxemburg-Casco saying, well, we're going to punt it and try to trust our defense. They have done some good things, but be prepared. Trimberger's their punter. He's an athlete, I know that. Nice kick.
Nice kick. Get away.
No, just leave it. We got
The punt sails down inside the Panther tendon is down. There is a penalty marker on the field, however.
So that was a great kick. He was able to get the rotation all the way down to the, looks like the 7-yard line. There is a penalty on the field. We're gonna
so it's a post-kick penalty.
It's unfortunate because it looked like there's some extracurriculars being led by the Spartans in the middle of the field, but the flag was already down. Nothing to do with that, but yeah, it's going to set us up to about 1st and 10 on the 3.5-yard line.
The official back on that end looked it over, and I think it was a case where.
Inside the 4-yard line. 1st down, Plymouth Panthers.
But the Panthers lead 14-0. We're midway through the second quarter of the second round of WIA playoffs. The Panthers would set something up really nice with a 7-minute drive right here if they could, because they do get the ball coming out at half.
So ball way back to the 4-yard line after a really nice punt and a penalty. And Miller picks up about 6 tough yards.
Creates a good space so you're not in the shadow of your goalpost as bad.
So 2nd and 4, Panther ball. Again, 7 minutes to go. Panthers up 4-0 on 2 tough drives. A couple good defensive stances, especially that last one. Kuhn, Miller, and Schultz in the backfield.
There we go. We'll take 5 yards of 1st down. Okay, nice hard cadence by Caden Schultz to get the defense to jump into that neutral zone.
Well, those Schultzes are known to be sneaky. In fact, we got Uncle Jerry sitting home watching in his garage all by himself. I don't feel for him. No, 1st and 10 for the Panthers. That's big just to get out away from the goal line. Miller picks up another tough 3. 3.5 yards. They got it at 4 downstairs. So
nice job following the block of number 65 Bronx Romanowski. Keeping it nice and tight. Even within that, he was able to gain a solid 4 yards.
He hasn't yet, but it's run, break. Just hasn't made that one little break yet, but it's such a threat. It's always there. So I tell you, they got nobody more than 7 yards off the line of scrimmage. There's the break right there. And just a good pursuit. There's the break.
Yeah, that's just it. I love the fact that Parker Bursch went in motion. He cleared out this entire side, and then they did an inside trap move to get Devin Miller outside. And again, Spartans leading tackler, number 12 Mason, Trimberger was able to make that tackle. Great tackle.
He had the angle. It's a good tackle. It's a good guy you want back there if you're Luxemburg-Casco. So they have split out now.
Kuhn at quarterback takes direct snap up the middle.
And picks up about 7 or 8.
Rolls right up the middle, close to the 50-yard line.
That was a really interesting formation setup because you had Devin Miller and your tight end, Charlie Ness, split out to one side, trips on the other. They're going to run it again.
They're going to run something again. Oh, bad snap. I mean, when you're not used to playing there like that all the time, that snap, that's where it was low.
It was unfortunate.
Yeah. So third now and about 8. So we got Korthels and DeMonk at the top. Tight end there.
Same formation as that touchdown. Dillon on the quick out, makes the catch. Hold on to that ball, Mr. Dillon. Nice job.
That's a good throw.
He's a shifty receiver.
He is.
He's like that Wes Welker kind of like shifty moves, and great job making that catch on that out pattern.
That was a good throw. I tell you what, I know Cade played quarterback his freshman year, but this is what, his 4th game, and he finds receivers.
He does. He has the patience. The height doesn't hurt, and he just sits in that pocket and waits for the receivers that break off their routes.
Get outside, get outside.
Oh, shoot.
Miller bounces the run outside.
He picks up 2 and nothing was there. So
I think, unfortunately, receiver Parker Bursch took the bulk of that hit that Devin tried to hurdle over some guys. So.
Penalty marker on the field.
What are they calling now?
I'm not.
Mike, I thought.
I didn't see
couldn't
anything.
See. He was down in front here. I think it was a hold. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be against Plymouth. Looks like they're going to back them up.
Looks like it's a spot foul.
Illegal block is indicated against the Panthers.
It could, there's so much activity here. Officials are right there.
Well, the play was designed to go up the middle, and it was all clogged up, and so Devin is able to scoot back to the side.
If it's a hold, it's 10 from the spot. If it's a clip or something, it's 15. But it's
a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So it'll be 1st and 19.
I've sort of advocated in high school football, behind the line it's 10 yards, in front of the line it's 10 yards, when the penalty is. So, all right, so we got 1st and 20. Boy, I tell you, there's everybody up near the line of scrimmage. Well played. Kuhn breaks one, breaks another one, and picks up the penalty.
That was a great block by number 54, Zach Miller, because he was covered up right away. But Cole stayed with it. Zach was able to get a block, gain another 10 yards to set us up at 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9.
Got our penalty yards back.
So 2nd and 9, 3:32 to go in the half. Panthers will get the ball to start the second half. Keep this drive going. Boom. He picks up about 6, you'd say. 5 or 6.
Caden on the stat sheet will gain 5 yards. I think he ran 35 yards as a whole of in, out, all around, trying to find a place to set up. But great job, great heads up to be able to at least gain those 5 yards.
And they were covered well. And I think Cade did the right thing.
Absolutely.
You pick up, now you pick up 3 yards, you're going to go for it on 4th down. Like I said, look, they are all up on the line. You could just, there's nothing there. Nothing.
Miller shoots the ball straight ahead. Met by
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that was a read option, and Cannon decided to leave it with Devin versus
Timeout,
keeping it.
Casco with 2:26 to go in the first half. Punt team will come on. Now they called a timeout.
Timeout.
I think they,
Luxemburg-Casco.
listen, there was so much penetration, I think, into the backfield that there wasn't a whole lot you could do.
I'd be interested to see if they mix something up. Luxemburg-Casco called that timeout. There's 2.5 minutes left to go in the half. Is Plymouth going to stick with punting? Will they get creative? Try setting something up, because Caden can run with this. He likes that Australian rules punt.
I don't know what we're doing. Oh, they're short somebody. Nice kick. Oh, tough.
I think he caught it. He did catch it. 3-yard line, goes out of bounds. That's quite the angle.
Inside the Spartan 5-yard line.
Maybe that was deceptive, that kid going all late.
Right.
It was a
Distracted
deception.
the Spartans, absolutely.
So up, Plymouth is up 14-0, 2:19 to go. Luxemburg-Casco has 2 timeouts left. Clock stops. An incomplete pass, out of bounds, or a first down, but it starts right away after the first down.
So this is a perfect opportunity for a turnover.
That'd be very nice.
Trips left, the bottom of your screen. Fumble in the end zone.
Oh, wait a second.
No snap in the end zone. Ball thrown away by Eli Doreen. 2nd and 10.
I was curious if he got outside the tackle box, but because that would have been safety. But looks like he got outside. There was a quote receiver in the area. Very similar to the Pittsburgh game where Mr. Rogers was able to get a pass off.
They think they're going to change that rule now because of that.
Another low snap, going deep.
Good throw.
Made the catch, but out of bounds, setting up 3rd and 10.
Intended for Tripberger.
Great coverage by Kane. He just didn't get his head around to make a play on the ball.
Now the good thing here, hold them here. They're kicking from the back end of the end zone. We didn't have any pressure on him at that time. And again, I think you're going to play a little more prevent than anything. Not that they're. Well, there's this quarterback. If you can sneak some lineman in there. Anybody try to hit that slot? No, he's looking to the right. He likes to go to the right.
Great coverage. Maximo Troca on the back there. Great coverage.
He has done that twice tonight. You know, he's a linebacker, but he's a running back. He's a back.
Yeah.
So that works out. We have 3 timeouts left. The Monk will be back. The punter doesn't have a lot of room. That snap is going to come from the 2-yard line. Usually you're back 15. He's going to be back 12 and a half.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive because the Spartans got the ball with 2:19 to go and 3 plays, 12 seconds to go off the clock. We get the ball back, 3 timeouts, 2:07.
Don't jump. Let's kick. Oh, let it go. That's a spot where sometimes I'd put 2 guys back. So that roll was an extra 10, 12 yards. So, but we have 3 timeouts, 1:54 to go.
Again, we have all 3 timeouts. Be able to get ourselves in position for some type of score. A touchdown obviously would be preferable. Maybe set up Leighton Kirkford.
Schultz has not carried the ball, a waggle pattern, or he has just for a while. We used all our trick plays in the first 2.
Right. Setting up twins, 2 receivers on each side. Devin Miller in the backfield with Caden
Just
Schultz.
get the defensive backs up because they were coming up and making so many darn tackles. Get down to the 40-yard line. Not going to take the timeout yet. They're going to get up and get ready to go, looks like. Picked up 4. I tell you, so many of these names from Luxemburg-Casco, I'm so familiar from when we played them years ago.
Oh, that was a great route. That was an in and then an out.
And I think he adjusted it. If anything, like Cade kind of aimed it a little bit. You know, one of those, if he can run it, just go.
Setting up 3rd and 5.
This is not
for the
4
Panthers.
downs. This is pick up the first down. Oh, that was aiming the ball. I'll tell you what, though, that was well covered. They had that pattern down, bang. It was not going anywhere. So Schultz gets to stay on the field and kick the ball. So Luxemburg-Casco still has their 2 timeouts. You can kick it out of bounds on the 3 again. It'd be very nice. Nice snap.
Yep.
And maybe he'll just run with the ball.
Caden Schultz takes off down the right sideline. Was wrestled out of bounds and penalty markers fly.
So that was a great play by Caden. He saw a wide open hole in the middle, runs down for about 30 yards. It looks like there were some extracurriculars at the end of that play with Spartans.
A trust play. The
it really
coaches
was.
Trust him to let him do what he wants. So
Personal foul is indicated again.
And ejection. So what they're saying is that they're ejecting number 23, their leading rusher, because he punched, made a punch. He threw a punch. I think it was at the ball. I don't believe it was at Caden. But either way, the refs, it's their interpretation of what took place, but it's a 15-yard penalty, and he's ejected from the game.
That's a bozo double no-no. Well, Cade was out of bounds. If he just lets him go, he's done, and Cade's trying to pull away. And I didn't see a punch from up here. Again, I will say this, officials are right on top of it. They're going to control that stuff. If you just grab them and rough them up,
correct,
you don't get tossed. It's the punch that gets them tossed. And he would then also be, if Luxemburg-Casco went on, he's done. In the tournament, you're done then.
I think what's hard with that is that even Coach Volbrecht teaches when you go at a player who has the ball, you punch at the ball.
Right.
And so you're taught to punch at the ball. The problem is that it was towards the end of the play, towards the out of bounds. When did he punch at the ball? Was he punching at the ball, punching at the player? I think
that's what the officials are talking
that's what
about.
They're wrestling,
are talking about with themselves and maybe to the coach. Was he just going after the ball? It'd be hard to change it. The official on top of the play called it.
Correct. And he was very adamant about it.
But officials are doing what you should do. Talk it over. That's why you got 5 of them. We were talking before the game. We were over in Michigan. They will have 6 or 7 officials. And yet, my son was up. He coached at Tulsa East and Eisenhower and West. He said it got to where one team in the conference every week had to play on Thursday nights because they didn't have enough officials for Friday nights.
Sure. Well, Spartans coach is trying to make a point of getting this play overturned. Obviously, he wants his player, one of their key.
It's going to be a roughing. It's going to be a personal foul, but it's the removal of the player that he's talking about, and that's what the officials are talking about. I think the talk has probably gone long enough, but if I'm the coach, I'm going to advocate like crazy, and the officials want to make sure that the coach understands, here's what happened, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's so anyway, that's things about officiating. Where I'm in a different state where they got 6 or 7. I was Division 2, I think. Well, I don't see him coming back on the field.
Again, unfortunately for the Spartans, it was number 23, Cameron Dorner, who had that personal foul penalty. Also is ejected from the game. The refs are still having a conversation.
Now it's starting to be, something's got to give here a little bit.
Now they're going to talk to the Plymouth coach. They kept to it. Personal foul and ejection. Now they're going to mark off the penalty.
Half a distance from the 24 should be down to the 12-yard line. That's a huge play.
Wow.
Personal foul, which will be half the distance to the goal penalty with an ejection.
It wasn't. Oh, it was inside the 20. Okay.
Yeah, it was a 19-yard line where the play ended. Sets up half the distance to first and goal.
Plymouth Panthers.
Well, Dorner's a good defensive. He's a good athlete.
He is, absolutely.
He's got to watch him play a little bit. He's an athlete. He knows what he's doing. Well, up down to the 4. 1:05 to go. I don't think they'll call a timeout.
Surges right up the middle for a gain of 5.
I think they can huddle it with all those timeouts left.
Yeah, we still have 3 timeouts left. Under a minute to go in the second quarter. Panthers are up 14-0, sitting at the second and goal on the 5-yard line.
Oh, I tell you, he shot a gap. There were 2 guys that missed him.
Backfield, wrapped up by Ben Voss.
Well, to me, you've got to go for the touchdown here, and then if you don't get it at the 5, go for the 3.
Goal from about the
They haven't run anything tricky down near the goal line. Now, it's probably better when Cade goes to his right. So where they are, if they do something a little bit different, but
I think this is a great opportunity to set up a dive play, fake dive with Devin, and then either Caden rolling out or that jet sweep to create that outside, getting the outside. They have everything packed in the tackle box.
Yeah.
And we continue to try and pound that tackle box versus being able to get to the outside and use our speed.
When they're just shooting gaps. And that's good. It's great coaching.
Absolutely.
We've done some great coaching things as well. But that was the one, if you could pick up that 2. So, big play. 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line.
So we got stacked receivers on the left side. Aiden DeMonk, Sawyer Vopagel, and Cole Kuhn stacked on the left. Inside out pass.
Oh, it was there. Now it's there now. Touchdown. That was interesting.
You said earlier that they hadn't run any trick plays yet down inside the 20. Well, there's your trick play.
And the guy was open, but I could see where it was hard to see it. So Kuhn goes, hey.
I'm just going to run it.
So going for an extra point. That is an unbelievable gravy touchdown here in this first half. Luxemburg-Casco has played us tough, and we're up 21-0. Snap is great. The kick looks good, and it is. The Panthers lead 21-0, 26 seconds to go in the first half, and Plymouth will receive the kickoff to start the second half. Now he'll probably squibber down here.
So right now, at the half, Devin Miller is leading with 17 rushes, 104 yards. Caden with 3 rushes, 61 yards. Again, as we mentioned earlier, the leading receiver, Dylan Korthals, has 2 catches and 31, as well as Caden Kuhn, 2 catches and 14 yards. Thank you.
And every yard that they got on the ground was a tough one, other than that scramble on the punt. Yeah, that I've seen it. I've seen it happen to us, but it rarely happens. But you're right. If he took a swing at the ball, referee can't tell he's swinging at the ball. Well, the thing is, he's out of bounds, so if he took the swing at the ball there, it wasn't going to do him any good.
Correct.
The only way they can interpret it, I guess, was you're taking a swing.
Correct.
And I'm sure the kids, but you're out of bounds. You're done.
Yeah.
And the whistle had blown.
The whistle had blown. And, again, it's
now,
unfortunate.
biggest thing here, you don't want any kind of a run back, because they do have 2 timeouts. Whistle blows, and away we go on the kickoff.
Nice squib kick.
Well fielded. Pretty good return out to about out to the 33-yard line. So first and 10, good position. 20 seconds to go, 2 timeouts to go. You figure about 6 seconds to play. It's a pass that's incomplete. The clock stops. A sack would be very nice.
Yeah, you want to have some pressure, but you definitely want to stay back. You should be able to see their 3 D-backs at least 15 yards off the.
Watching the kicker before he's got a good leg.
Another low snap. Great defensive play, tipped it up just enough.
4 seconds went off. 4 seconds, so it's 16 seconds, 2 timeouts. First, second and 10, excuse me. Luxemburg-Casco back at their own, just touching the 34-yard line. Schultz shoves him out of bounds at about 41. 6 seconds on. 6 seconds, 10 seconds to go. Again, they got the 2 timeouts.
You want everything to stay in front of you.
Yep.
And so again, right there, we'll give you that 7-yard pass.
And they're throwing short. I'm sure they're trying to set up a short and goal. I would try that, but we don't want to. We say, why don't you blitz? Because you just don't want to give up anything big. Because those linebackers underneath a little bit, defensive backs a little deep. They'll call it a roughing.
So on that play, great hard play by Sawyer. Unfortunately, he kept his head down, didn't see where the ball was, lit up the receiver.
If he just pulls up.
If he pulls up, he's fine. So
they're going to get 15 yards on this. If nothing else, that quarterback, who has a nice arm, can just throw one down to the end zone.
Yeah, that's a big penalty. There's 5 seconds left to go. So this is the last play of the half. Unless there is another defensive penalty, then they get one extra one. But
again, he's always got to think about everything. And again, he's ready to hit him. And then if he can just pull up, see at the 45 now. Probably one play. Well, they're going to timeout Panthers. They're going to send people deep and try to get an interference, which we've seen a lot of this year.
Timeout Plymouth Panthers.
I like that play, that call by Coach Valbrecht. Let's get organized. Yep, you had an unfortunate penalty there, but let's get organized. Make sure we all know what we are doing. Be assignment sure. Don't let anyone get over the top of us. And,
Again, when I want the kicker just watching in warm-ups, looked to me like he's got probably 35 yards anyway that he could go for it. The one he kicked with 5 seconds to go to win the game last week was 23, so basically it's an extra point. The crowd, it's actually, it wasn't as big, it was bigger than that last week.
Yeah, they're going to have guys at the 5-yard line, 10-yard line for defense here. They're spraying it way out. Great play. That was a great play. Number 42, Nate Helsel, right up the middle.
I think Nate's about 6'4" or 5", isn't he?
Yeah, he's, find him here, 6'5". Great play. Hands up. Batted that ball down. 3 seconds left before half.
Well, now it's almost impossible to catch it inbounds unless you're right on the sideline. Anything that would give them a chance for even a field goal. Similar formation. 4 men, 4 guys rushing. And that's the end of the half.
Yep.
And they hadn't started the clock.
Good hard tackle by Josh Watkins. Yeah.
They didn't. There was only 3 seconds left.
Yeah, they forgot to start the clock, unfortunately, so that should have been game or half over, excuse me.
There was only 3 seconds left. There's no way that was a
And that is the end of the first half of play.
That's a halftime, folks. Your Panthers are up 21 to
So-
nothing, and they will be receiving the second half kickoff.
and we will see you then. Welcome back to the second half of Plymouth High School Panthers Level 2 Division 3 football game coming to you from Finke Field from Plymouth Community TV. The Panthers lead the Luxemburg-Casco Spartans by a score of 21-0 with a score late in the first half. They scored in their first, in fact, yep, they punted twice. One went out of bounds, and one Schultz ran for a first down. Cade Schultz ran for a first down. But Luxemburg-Casco has played us tough. They've played well. It should be an interesting second half.
Well, that's just it, Scott. I think Luxemburg-Casco is fighting the best that they can. Thankfully, we've been dominant in the areas that we need to. We've been persistent. And right now, I think if we can just take this kickoff, drive down, put up 28-0, it's going to take that wind even more out of Casco and get us set up to play Grafton next week, because Grafton is up 42-0 in the third quarter. So we'll see what happens in the second half for the Panthers.
Well, the kick is coming right now. It should be Miller and Troca deep. Nice kick. It's going to come to Miller at about the 4. Brings it right up the middle, looking for a little hole to get through. Gets through a little bit, and good tackle. One thing I've been impressed with, Luxemburg-Casco tackles well.
They really do. They take them all the way to the ground. They don't just do little arm tackles, but that's a great 30-plus yard return by Devin Miller. What I'm going to be interested to see is how do we adjust on offense. As I said in the first half, they wanted to pound that middle. I know that they want to run a lot, but I think they need to start being able to do fake pound in the middle and get to the outside. Jet sweeps, play action pass, whatever the case may be. Oh, they didn't make that adjustment so far.
Well, Kuhn picks up. I'll tell you, they got a couple kids on the side. They're just nice-sized kids. One of them is listed at 230. If he's 230, I can throw him about 100 yards. But they're tough. They're tough. They played well. They tackle well. I think they're strong kids. The way they tackle would indicate they're strong. They've been in the weight room, and they've been doing stuff to get better. But we got second and 6, just starting the second half up 21-0. Again, they've got all 11 people within 5 yards of the ball. If you can break one, that's going to be close to the first down.
Looks like where that spot is, that should be a first down.
And not only they're close to the, but they flow to the ball well.
They do.
That's why Miller hasn't broken that 60-yarder yet. They flow. They don't, that whole team goes to the ball.
But even within that, Devin Miller did a great job of being patient. It looked like it was bottled up, but he was still able to gain 5-6 yards.
He's a complete running back. He really, really is. 1st and 10. He's patient there. He's going to try to get outside, and they got him.
Yeah, that's a great tackle.
There was just nothing there.
Yeah, number 9, Julian Bailey, junior tackle right there.
So 2nd and 12. Charlie Nass comes in. Dylan Korthols comes back on the field. Caught a big touchdown pass early in the ball game. Yeah, we have not, again, they do things. They flow to the ball. They have decent size on that front 4. And again, if you take a look right now, there's one safety back because it's in a passing situation. Other than that, they're all near the line of scrimmage. Quick pass to Korthols. He breaks one tackle and keeps going, and he gets really close to that first down.
Yeah, that's a great play. It looks like it's going to be enough for a first down as well. Yep. That's a great play because all that was a 3-4 yard out. But Dylan was able to create enough space, be shifty enough to gain the rest for that first down. That's his 3rd reception of the game. Again, as I mentioned earlier, he's leading the team in total receptions. Caden Schultz, total yards. So it's great to be able to see a little passing catch from receiver to receiver.
1st and 10 now in Luxemburg-Casco territory at the 42-yard line. Korthols ran a little angry when he got the ball. I just remember we've had some kids, he ran kind of angry. Well, it's football. You can be angry.
Absolutely.
You can't take a swing at somebody.
Nope. We saw that in the first half.
We'll take that 5-yard penalty. That's a huge 5-yard penalty. Gets you down pretty much 4-down territory. If you can pick up one more first down, you're in it. We got Bursch and DeMunk up on the top. Nass, the tight end, here on the bottom. Miller and Kuhn in the backfield with Schultz. Miller gets that little gap. Again, their corners do a great job. A great. He picks up 8 or 9 yards though.
Yeah, unfortunately on that one, Parker missed his block on Mason Trimberger. Again, Mason, number 12 for Casco Spartans, leads the team in tackles.
Yep, you can see
he's
why.
a great player, runs hard to the ball from that safety position. No measurement, automatic, or not automatic.
They list Trimberger at
first down.
6'3", 170. He's athletic.
Absolutely.
And it's not. And Dylan gets a little breather. He can outrun him, but they call it a first down now. Okay. All right. So first and 10 at the Luxemburg-Casco 32-yard line. We're in the third quarter. 8:35 to go in the third quarter. Schultz makes a cut, picks up 3 or 4. Again, well played by Luxemburg-Casco.
Yeah, he had the option to give that to Devin or keep it. He chose to keep it that time. I think it was the right play. Still gained 4 yards, long 3, whatever it may be. Set them up for a second.
But their defensive backs are not little kids. I'm looking at 175, 180 pounds. And they come and they fill quickly. So second, again, pretty much 4 downs here. Now they just shot a gap.
Shoestring tackle by number 20, Ben Klaus.
Well, they started near the end of the first half, just shooting guys up the middle. Again, they're only 5 yards off. That's it. You might have to spread them out a little bit and just, make that fake with the middle and throw a little pass right over the middle. Tight end, quick slant, whatever. So 3rd and 10. There'll be about 7 minutes snapped in the third when the ball gets into play. Here's this. They're spreading it out right now a little bit. They feel their defensive backs can just playing cover people.
Good little touch pass. Oh. Unfortunately, right through Cole Kuhn's hands on that touch pass.
Good scramble pass was there.
It was.
Looks like Coach Rollbuck has said we're going to go for it.
4th and 10.
He makes the call. The punt. You do it right. They might try, the coach is going to holler, I'm sure, the hard count, watch the hard count so they don't pick up a 5-yard simple one. But they had a guy, had a kid open. Basically a little different trips on the top now.
He's open. Threw it slightly behind him, but he made the catch.
What a catch. Dylan
Great
Cordell.
concentration.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
They had the linebacker, number 59, Ethan Werner on him, and it was slightly behind him. Dylan Corthals had great focus, concentration, makes that catch, lands him at the 1st and goal on the 7-yard line.
Wow. He picked out the right guy, and he made a great catch. DeMunk on the top of the screen. Bursch flanked on the right side. Miller gets the ball up the middle, and it's in the end zone, baby. That line just parted the waters.
Yeah, again, like we've been saying it all year, Devin just runs hard. It's like he gets shot out of a cannon. The O-line did what they did. They've been clogging up that middle the entire time. And for them to be able to have the perseverance to continue to fight through that O-line, created that wide open gap and that touchdown.
That is a statement drive. That's a statement drive. You came right out, you can score. And Luxemburg-Casco has played us tough. We've made plays. And this is kind of what we've done all year.
Correct.
They've just made some plays. The catch by Corthels was a drive saver. But line, I'll tell you, I watched the line pass block. They're holding their own. That team had pounds and pounds, and they're kind of holding their own. Gives them enough time to find somebody, and he's had success.
Well, that's the second fourth down play that they had. The first one was for a touchdown, and now this one was for a clutch. It was 4th and 10. You get 25-plus yards on that pass and catch. And so them coming up clutch in those moments, those are two gigantic plays that could change the course of this game. We made the play. Casco didn't. That puts us up 28-0 with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, looking to advance to the third round of the playoffs.
So Yerk to kick, he's done a great job. When he's got it in the air, it's gone down to about the 10-yard line. Some of them have been on the bounce. The coverage has been good. The whistle goes, and here comes the kick. Again, right about 15 on that one. Good play.
Good gang tackle, Dylan Smith, number 20.
Dylan Smith, 20, and Hunter Shield, 24 in the tackle. That's great coverage.
Yeah, Tyson Arnold, number 14, as well as number 24, Hunter Shield. Good gang tackle there.
They got it at the 15. They only got 11 yards on the carry. So 1st and 10, Luxemburg-Casco, 6:28 to go in the third quarter. Again, they've moved the ball. They haven't obviously gotten into the end zone. Boy, there was a lot of room. A lot of room. Now, the first half, there was a sportsman conduct injection into their second leading ball carrier. This Trimber kid, this number 12, is a very good athlete. So that's a first down. That was a play we hadn't seen.
No, they're going a little quick offense. Defense got to get organized. Quarterback keeps it.
Okay, that quarterback does a good job of faking, and the running backs do a good job of carrying out the fake.
Devin Miller first on the tackle.
So a 4-yard gain and first down is a big gain for this team because of the way they run that offense. So again, anytime we've had success, we get off the ball and make some penetration into the backfield. You're not going to make every tackle, but you just create havoc in the backfield. Now, they're going to spread out a little bit more. Well, they had good blocking on that play.
Yeah. No spin.
Well, we didn't. What they're doing is we're not reading our keys on the top of the screen. Watch the blocking, and obviously you're going to watch for the pass, but they're not reading it. Their end blocked well on that run. So that's a big couple plays for Luxemburg-Casco. They're in Panther territory at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, they're running that jet sweep because they're in that running mode. They have their running quarterback in there, so it's going to be run until they get number 6 back there to pass. Fake and a hold. Fumble.
That one I think we got.
I think we got that one recovered.
Yes, we did. That's a huge
wow. Wow.
They had everything going, and that's the second time that quarterback has fumbled the ball, though.
And that's one of the things right there. He was trying to make a play with a spin move, but Maximo Troco was able to pop that ball out and be able to get that coverage. So great play.
So I couldn't see who recovered the fumble because we can't see that far. But Panthers now 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line, just touching the 43-yard line, up 28-0, 5:20 to go in the third quarter. And again, the score does not indicate how well LCS played, but we played better. Miller up the middle, about 4.
Devin Miller straight ahead.
Pick up a 4 on first down like that. It's a good play. Picked up there. They got it at 3. I think he picked up about 3.5. Second and a long 6.
So this is what I'd like to be able to see with their O-line is just to wear down that D-line. The D-line has been playing very, very good. But just feel continue to pound and see Devin break one.
Yeah, there's just, you've got 10 people coming at the ball.
Yeah.
There's something, if you can break it, an option play may work. If you can break it, you're gone. But they've got everybody within 5 yards of the ball. So 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5, just shy of the 48-yard line. Again, we're down to 4 minutes when the ball gets snapped in the 3rd quarter, up 28-0. That's not a real spread formation here. Bortholz again, boy, he catches that naturally, doesn't he?
He really does.
He really does.
He gets the hands out. They're all hand catches versus allowing the ball to come to their body. Good rhythm pass between him and Caden Schultz on that. Just a great opportunity for Dylan as that senior to have some clutch catches tonight.
That was a good throw, nice throw from Schultz. So they're in Luxemburg-Casco territory at their 39-yard line. We have had, we're a run first team, no question. But they have done a good job. And again, they've got so many guys up near the line of scrimmage that it's just
you have
just
to.
Tough. I mean, you got 9 in the box.
I just I'm just kind of curious of what they're trying to make happen within that. And I know that they don't call audibles. But even being able to set up other plays, you see what they're going to do. Casco's not going to shift away from that. Try and get that ball outside. Because even with us spreading guys out, they're still just going to.
Yeah. Oh, no.
They got a linebacker over the top.
Boy, Miller did a good job. He was very patient to pick up about 4 or 5 yards.
And they're going to set up 3rd down, 3rd and 6.
Well, it looked like he got more, but that's because they had people in the backfield. Here again, they can go. They got 2 downs to get it if that's what we want to do, or you can play it conservatively and try to kick it down, make them go a long ways. Bursch at the bottom of the screen. Now their best defensive, maybe best defensive player is guarding him.
Penalty marker stops play.
I think that's the 3rd time that they've jumped off sides.
Somebody moved.
Oh, I'm sorry.
False start is indicated against Plymouth.
Yep.
5-yard penalty.
I didn't see that. I thought we had jumped.
Well, they jumped, but they must have been drawn off.
We must have
been
moved
drawn off
first. So
that's a huge 5 yards. Well, they bring in another defensive back. They were basically playing with a total of 3 defensive backs. Usually you got, with an outside linebacker, not even 3, 2.
Sets up 3rd and 10. 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Panthers up 28-0.
Well, Bursch is isolated right here down at the bottom of the screen. That's a very good defensive player.
Yeah.
Well, the punt team does come out.
Caden was getting pressure there. He had to throw it up. Dylan did a good job of breaking up that pass, or that probably would have been picked. So again, 4th and 10. I fully anticipate Caden going ahead and punting this, not being sneaky up the middle.
Good defensive series by Luxemburg-Casco. The Panthers moved the ball. That 5-yard penalty obviously was huge, as is. We've been the beneficiary of some of those. And that's not good.
But it does create space. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Just the way we designed it. Let's snap it over the head. Caden pick it up and throw it to Dylan Smith for a 45-yard touchdown. Just the way we drew it up in the backyard.
And there was nobody downfield.
I guess not.
Because they're punt blocking.
Correct.
And
so they can't leave until the ball's kicked. What a play. That's just.
Yep.
Oh, wait, whoa, sorry.
Penalty marker stops the play.
Oh, man. All right. What number? What number was the ineligible downfield?
Illegal man downfield is indicated against the Panthers.
Oh, stink. Oh, well. I do quite. That was a late flag.
Yeah.
It was a 5-yard penalty.
They talked it over. They did the right thing. I wondered about. I wondered
That's
about
an
it.
instant replay. Let's get to.
We've got that. Thing is, he might have been able to run for the thing.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to try this again. The good
Well,
news is
some
it took
fun
some
excitement.
time off the
Yeah.
clock. 1:56 to go in the third. Schultz back to kick from the 45, so just a regular who's back deep. Trimberger is back to receive the punt.
Better snap.
Nice kick. Good job. Nice call. Nice catch by Trimberger.
I suppose that makes sense, Scott, because Cole Kuhn is your center. He snaps the ball. He's the one that can leave right away. All right, everyone else has to wait until the punt, and so most likely Cole, who is the center on the snap, cannot. He's the ineligible man downfield.
So, Luxemburg-Casco has a ball back at their own 12, roughly the 12-yard line. 1:48 to go. Plymouth up 28-0. It's been an interesting series of events. Many different series of events in this game. You know, it's one of those games. You're up 28-0, and your stomach still feels a little tight. All right, defense, get another big stop here.
Great defensive play by Caden Schultz. I thought he was running the route better than Mason Trimberger on that one, but he just was patient enough, didn't get that other arm behind his back.
They throw another
snapped
one
it.
like that, you may see him step in front
Yeah,
and pick
absolutely.
it. Usually they leave him alone. They don't even throw the ball his way. So 2nd and 10. Now they went to some short passes. They went to a couple of jet sweeps with number 12, Trimberger, who was very successful.
Pass. Caden.
We got it.
Trimberger's pass is intercepted.
So Caden's responsibility is number 12, Mason Trimberger. And so when he went in motion, that brought
He ran
Caden
across the
over the
screen.
top, puts him at a safety position, and it's just a jump ball for your basketball stud to be able to make that play.
Don't wake the bear. And they threw it where he was, and he definitely outjumped it. It wasn't a great throw, but it's a big turnover. Now Panthers go down and get us a touchdown. 1:36 to go in the third quarter. Plymouth up 28-0 over the Luxemburg-Casco Spartans. They haven't stopped our rushing game, but they've contained it some. We haven't had that big run. Oh, Miller almost looks like that. Well, it looks like they kind of grabbed him up high. Again, those linebackers are just coming. They're coming full blast. You can't get the blocks to the second level. It's
No.
just not happening.
Their defensive line has played solid all game of bottling up that middle, and then the linebackers are within 2 or 3 yards to be able to just kind of clean up whatever they miss.
And their defensive ends are outside far enough that if you try to get outside, Korthel's got the ball. He's going to make a nice cut. He makes another one. He's going to pick it, get it close. So he gets it to about the 36. The 29 would be the line to gain. On a shuttle pass, that's a pass. So if it goes muffed, it's an incomplete pass. Now we got it. I got it. Well, if the marker's at the 29, I got a 3rd and a long 2. So you got 2 downs to pick this up. You don't have to do anything fancy, you just got to pick it up. And he did.
Miller works his way down.
Yeah, nice job. Started first down there. It looks like this will finish up the third quarter. Started the fourth quarter going in on the 27-yard line. The Panthers are up 28-0.
First down, Plymouth Panthers. The clock will run out on the third quarter of play. The score, your Plymouth Panthers 28. The Luxemburg-Casco Spartans 0.
It's been a grind, but this is a good game for Plymouth. There'll be some bruises. Luxembourg. We've said it. We said it before last week. We found out that we did play them. That they're tough. They play hard. They hit hard. That one play was not a good play, but that's not what they are. They always play tough. They're well coached. Somehow our athleticism, our coaching staff, we're just been better. 12 minutes to go. Now you just want to squeeze it, pick up a first down whenever you can, obviously. And I believe they have us at 1st and 10, and they set it. I can see the side at about the 27-yard line. Maybe just shy of the 27.
Well, Coach Valbrecht said coming into the game they wanted to really focus in on that running game, and they really have. They have run the ball, pounded the ball, been focused on trying to pound the interior of that defense. But what has been great is that when they needed it the most, their passing game has bailed them out. Their passing game has gotten them 4th down and got a touchdown, 4th and 10 and got a first down. And so it's just been great to be able to see them mix it up and have a good balance, even though it's going to show more on the rushing yards than passing yards.
Well, Korthels is having the game of the year for him. You know, when you lost Augie, that was tough. Cade has stepped in, done a great job, but he was also their fastest big receiver. Those are the ones.
Yep.
Experience would say, hey, just run.
Yep.
But again, this is what, 4th. He got maybe his 4th game back as quarterback, and didn't practice. It wasn't the backup. I'm sure he practiced a very little bit. But he did play it his freshman year. He hadn't played it since. He stepped in and done a great job.
That incomplete pass sets up for 2nd and 10.
All right. 2nd and 10. Pick up a nice 5-6 yard gain here somehow. That's what they've done.
Yeah,
they've
good
done.
tackle. So the challenge of that play was that it was a little bit of a low snap. Caden did a great job of gathering it, but it's a quick handoff, and so Devin wants to get out of there quick. Unfortunately, a loss of one. Number 59 with a great tackle by Casco. 59, Ethan Werner. Setting up 3rd and 11 for your Plymouth Panthers.
Got a score on a Grafton game versus Medford at Grafton. Grafton right now 49, Medford 14. Oh, nice toss.
That was a great pass because Caden had somebody right in his face. He was patient enough to see that the tight end, Charlie Nass, come across. He's going to set him up as 4th and 2.
Okay, we haven't picked up a lot of 2-yard gains. You know, when you haven't got that 350-pounder to lead the charge on that one. Okay, you've got the wide side, but you brought your offensive players to the wide side, so that's the defense is shading that. You'd almost have to get the other way.
Nope.
And
off to Miller. He is stopped short of the first down line again.
Yeah.
All day.
Good defensive play by Luxemburg-Casco. But what the Panthers did do is run a lot of time off the clock. Down to 10:24 in the ball game. So the defense has to hold. Now they had success, not this last series, but the series before, with some quick slants, some quick outs, the jet sweeps. What the Panthers figured out, they adjusted. The Panthers adjusted to it, which was great. Okay, we got to read your keys.
Jet sweep is run by Tim.
I don't know where the who the player was, but instead looked into the backfield and got blocked. We're going to have a flag, face mask.
Face mask is indicated against Plymouth. That'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Okay, there's where you got to be careful. Those are the kind of mistakes right now in the ball game. You just want them to take time.
The thing is that they have not been disciplined on this jet sweep. They've
No.
been able to get, they're keeping their eyes too much into the backfield and not watching their keys.
I couldn't see the number, but whoever it was, for no reason, wasn't reading keys. So basically that flanker came and just stalk blocked them. That's who's got to contain that. Be disciplined. Watch the blocks. Okay, see, that's that quick out that they were doing earlier. They came and so they have the outside receiver come and block, and then so it's up. There's only 2 guys left, so they've had a couple nice plays here to start this drive. We're gonna make a little switch here. I don't know who's gonna be a switch on, but here she comes.
Again, they got trips left. Trips right, excuse me, bottom of your screen.
Well, that short pass is pretty much there as much as you want it.
Well, they have that Eli Doreen in at quarterback, which is their throwing quarterback. Quick little bubble screen.
Troca had it figured out pretty well. Stopped him with
good
about a
tackle
3-yard
by
gain.
Maximo Troca. Maximo and Sawyer there for the tackle.
That's what you can do. You can give up the 3-yard gain. It'd be nice if you could stop it completely. There's a few different numbers. Corey Stark was on the field from 26.
I think Tyson Arnold, number 14, took his place. Pump and go, wide open. Mason Trimberger in into Monk with the tackle.
Well, it was a great fake by the quarterback. Fake run, fake the pass, and Trimberger wide open. I don't know. That's not a guy you would want to let alone. So coming off. It was a good throw, but Trimberger's wide open.
Yeah. I think there's some confusion in the defensive backfield of who had who.
Oh, we got some right now, too, because nobody's out on the wide receiver. Oh,
Ooh.
That was a good throw.
Yeah. Again, as you said, Scott, we've been continuing to grind. We're up 28-0. The reality is that Luxemburg-Casco last week was down 21-7,
Yep.
And they fought back to win. Now, this would be quite the comeback, but you don't want to give them any wiggle room. You don't want to give them a little bit of hope.
3 big plays in this drive.
Correct.
That last one was huge. Well, they needed to bring one more in.
Quarterback keeps it. Good defensive gain tackle.
Well, it's going to be 2nd and goal from about the about the 3. 2nd and goal from the 3.
So actually, it's. Again, big defensive stop. Let's get organized. Watch our keys. Again, you have the passing quarterback in.
And the
Eli Doreen, running back. Good pressure. Throws it up. Just out of the reach.
Pressure was the key. No question about that. So for LC, this is basically their last chance.
Correct. 4th and goal. Again, they have options because they like to run the 2 different quarterbacks, so we're running and a passing, create a little bit of confusion there. Now we have the running quarterback setting up in the backfield. Passing quarterback is split out wide.
Well, they're trying to split us out. I don't see them throwing it, but I've been wrong many times before.
Again, the jet sweep with Mason Trimberger in for the touchdown.
Well, we have some work to do on it. We're not getting anything. The defensive end is reading that well. It doesn't make any difference who it is on either side. They're just not reading it. Just come across. You know what's coming. Just come across hard on it. So they're starting the clock. I don't know if they're going to go for 2 here. They go for 2 and run the same play. Yep, they're coming. They're going to run a play.
Surprised they're choosing to go for 2, but
They will line up for a 2-point conversion.
there's
Now that passing quarterback is way up at the top of the
Yep.
screen.
roll out. Great defense by Maximo Troca to knock it down.
That's a weird play.
It really was. I still don't know why they're going for 2. I'm not sure what in your book tells you to go for 2. But
Not
28-6, Plymouth Panthers
Now,
are up. 8
obviously-
minutes left to go in the 4th quarter.
Be ready for the onside, obviously.
Yes,
8:29
hands
to
team.
go, up 28-6. That 4th down and what that would have probably been the dagger, but it wasn't because Luxemburg-Casco made a good stop. They've done some good things. That one it's easy to stand up here and question it why they did it, but so you'll get everybody out there looking to pick up the football. They're going to try to kick it hard at somebody or just pooch it. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Only one guy deep, Dylan Smith. The only problem you have okay, I would, if I'm them, that's where you just pooch it over the top.
Yeah.
Smith's talking to the official. It's kind of fun to see that stuff with kids.
The hands team, all they have to do is fall on the ball. There's nothing they need to do.
Don't get
secure the ball. Great play by Josh Watkins. He was able to go up with the Luxemburg-Casco player and recover that ball because that was very close to LC's ball.
That was a great kick. Yeah, but we made the play. Josh Watkins made the play. Once again, some kid steps up and makes a play. Now, the play for the Panthers.
And that was a perfect kick because you want that second bounce to go up and over. It went up and over the outstretched arms of a guy who's 6'5". And Parker Burst was right there. There is going to be one challenge with our offense with the last 8 minutes to go is that Devin Miller is done for the day. He has some ice on a knee. We're not going to begin to predict anything on that. It very much could just simply be precaution. But we're going to have to gain a couple of first downs without Devin Miller.
If you're deep anywhere here, we have running backs. Whether it's Kuhn or Troca or Dylan Smith, we have running backs. But you mentioned Devin Miller at tight end as well, or excuse me, at linebacker as well.
Yes. Which might have been part of that challenge of this last drive because he was not in the entire last defensive drive.
Well, he's had to run hard and he's been hit hard. When you ice it, it always starts precautionary. When in doubt, put ice on it. Bruise, strain, whatever. I'm kind of looking for him. Okay. So he's standing up.
Yep, he's moving around.
That's a good sign.
Exactly. Again, we have one of the best in the business, Yoshi Ono. Absolutely fantastic, and isn't going to put the boys in any danger whatsoever, and so I'm sure it's precautionary at best.
Now with Vorpagel, Kuhn, Troca sometimes, you got hard runners.
You got Dylan Smith. You got some great opportunities there just to keep pounding the ball.
Pick up 3 or 4.
Nice hard run there by Cole. Just enough of a hole to shoot that gap, setting up 2nd and 6.
But there's so many players that you can't even get your legs moving to pick up that extra 3 or 4.
Yes.
And that's what we've been able to do against, for lack of a better way of saying this, lesser teams.
Yeah. Again, we're under 8 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. The Plymouth Panthers are up 28-6 over the Luxemburg-Casco Spartans. 2nd and 6.
Again, you've got there's
another right up the middle.
There's a
Great
head of
job.
steam right there. That's what you needed. I mean, that was somebody had to move somebody out of the way for him. But that's the head of steam you needed. He was going to get that first down. Stayed low, kept his pads low.
He did.
2 good plays for the Panthers to get a first down.
And keeps the clock running. The clock is our friend. Tick tock, tick tock.
Now, yeah, again, Devin Miller is a unicorn in terms of speed, but these other guys have some speed as well. Bortbog a little bit more of a blocking back. Kuhn again. Oh boy, one of their linemen did a great job. They just submarined. They just got down low.
Yep.
And they great technique.
Number 20, Ben Glass.
So it'll be 2nd and 8. Wide sides the top.
See, I'd love to be able to see a play action right here. Fake that dive. You run it 4 times in a row. Go over to the top with a Dylan Korthals or Aiden DeMonk, even a Charlie Nass coming out of the tight end position.
Yeah, I mean,
This time keeps it. Good block by Dylan Korthals.
picks up the first down.
Stays in bounds. First down.
The bootleg inside the Casco 30-yard line.
First down, Panthers, inside the 30. You were kind of what you were talking about. It fakes something to get to the
Correct.
outside. Here again, though, those are tackles I've seen other teams not able to make. So they're strong kids, but Schultz is quick enough, just gets outside and away he goes.
And 1st and 10 for the Plymouth Panthers. Under 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Inside the 30, so you. One takes his time and picks
Good
up
stutter step.
at 4 yards anyway.
So like another solid 4 yards. 2nd and 6.
So 2nd and 6. Keeps the clock going. 5:24 to go on the clock right now. It'll be under 5 minutes, likely, when we snap the ball.
Yeah, they're just going one-on-one with the receivers.
Yep.
9 in the box. Ghetto side. Unfortunately, we're going to have holding against the Panthers.
And that one was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Holding is the preliminary indication against Plymouth.
So that's a tough one. You got everything going very, very, very well, and you got a hold in the backfield. Ends up being about a 15-yard penalty instead of a 10-yard penalty. And it stops the clock. Okay, so you got 2nd and 20 where they may put it in the air. They get it to Korthals again. He breaks a tackle
nice.
and he's
Dylan
gone.
with 2 touchdowns.
I got to tell you what,
Wow.
game of the year, game of the life.
Right.
Nice
Again, a
play.
great out pattern, great pass by Caden Schultz, and then Dylan does the rest. He's low to that ground, breaks that tackle, scores a nice 40-yard touchdown.
So,
6-yard touchdown pass.
extra point coming. Schultz holding your kicking. 4:15 to go, and the ball. That's the air just came out of any balloon Luxemburg-Casco had, and they've done some good things.
Nice finish.
It's good, and 35-6, Plymouth Panthers.
That's a great response. You set it up 2nd and 20. You want to keep the clock running, but points are better at times. Great little pass play, getting Dylan on the outside. And then again, like I said, he did the rest within that. So great to be able to see him come back, have the resiliency over the season. He started out hot at the beginning of the season, cooled off a little bit, and then made that transition with Caden at quarterback. They've had a great connection tonight.
They did. Well, you knew earlier he was capable because he got a lot of balls, but then he had some injuries and they were playing well, and whatever the case may be, that's irrelevant now. He's had a heck of a ball game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And give that. They rolled Cade out a little bit, but the line did a job. You know, early in the year they lost the starting lineman, like Charlie Monkowski, and they had to make some adjustments, and they did. They're still a young line. If you look at everybody on the line, I think there's 4 starters that are underclassmen.
Yeah.
So the kick comes. The good old little fumbler ball, and well received. I know who made a tackle. Was a great tackle. Trimberger gets outside. Again, Luxemburg-Casco lost a player in the first half on unsportsmanlike. It's always unfortunate, but the call's the call, and they played. You can say I'm nuts. Well, a lot of people would agree, but 35-6. This has been a ball game. It's been a battle, I guess, is the best way I can place it.
It'll be interesting to see with Coach Balbert getting in some backup players now. With Panthers up 34-6.
Nice throw, nice catch, nice
great tackle by Sawyer Volpago.
Nice throw. That kid throws the ball well.
He does.
Gain of 3 on the play.
Picked up 3. So 350 and be snapped in about the 340 mark. 35-6. The Panthers are going to play next week at Grafton, who beat Medford by a score of 49-14. It'll be at Grafton, 7 o'clock. We will be there covering the ball game.
Number 20, Dylan Smith is in. Number 8, excuse me, Jackson is in. Trying to get some of these kids coming in off. Number 14, Tyson Arnold is in. Big old number 78, Nick Nelson is in.
So you're getting a lot of kids in. Incomplete pass, excuse me, the clock stops. You know, the Panthers haven't had too many games where they didn't have a running clock. Port, Beaver Dam, Menasha might have been, but they've been a lot of running clocks. So again, it'll be a tough. This is a tough game. It'll be a tough one next week.
Ooh.
Oh, you went. Oh, Smith is going to catch him or not?
Pass is complete to Tilden Cloudball.
Timeout on a big play for the Spartans. 3:15 to go. Gets down inside the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that was a sneaky little screen where he got out. The defender lost where he was at. And then unfortunately we made that gang tackle and they got a face mask, so another 15 yards. Big play there for Luxemburg-Casco.
You know, that's what, with the big lead, that's when it makes coaches nervous.
Well, you're bringing in backups. You're hoping that everything that they're doing. Great tackle. Nice job by Carter Weinhold making that tackle, because Mason Trimmerger's been running all over us with those jet sweeps and a couple of nice pass catches, and nice play by Carter there.
So 2nd and 8, 2:40 to go in the ball game. Looking deep. Yep, look for the drag pattern. Well covered.
Green's pass is incomplete. That time.
Number 9, Parker Bursch on the coverage. So clock stops, 2:32 to go.
3rd and 8.
It was a little chillier tonight than last week.
It has been cooling down.
So in Grafton, we aren't up on a press box. Last year, probably be the same this year. We're in the stands. So it was interesting, but that's how it is. Good stop.
Nice play by
tackle.
Parker Bursch.
2:25 to go.
Parker Bursch stops him in his
It's 4th down, so they can
He stayed home on that. Was able to make a good square up tackle. Nice job there, setting up 4th and 4. With again 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the game, Panthers are up 35-6.
You know, like a name like Parker Bursch, you don't hear all these names, but there's so many pieces of this puzzle that have led to this record that we have. Oh, dropped it.
All
right.
Bursch breaks it up. The Panthers are going to get the ball. 1:55 to go. I believe it'll be taking the knee time for the Panthers, and congrats. And I'll tell you, congrats to Luxemburg-Casco. Their 3 losses have come to 3
Playoff teams. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Freedom, Little Chute, and now the Plymouth Panthers. So they've had a good season. They came down and played against a very good team, but just a little bit better.
That'll be interesting to see. I'm trusting that LC is going to not call timeouts. Allow us just to kneel on the ball. Unfortunately, right now LC only has 10 players on the field, but and we're not kneeling on it.
Let's run it right up the middle. You
Oh,
got,
they are going to call timeout.
Ethan Rowan in the ball game.
Nope, never mind.
QB.
Excuse me.
52, Andrew Fisher in the ball game. A bunch of sophomores that I can see quickly. So the 2 knocks off a 3, and again, it's a great win for the Panthers. There's so many good things. Now I believe the knee is coming now.
That's what it looks like.
So takes the knee at 105.
They're going to have to take at least one more knee to have this game be official. Got a little fan bantering going back and forth from LC's fan to our fans.
They got the hunting caps on. They're again, they've had a good season. It's a nice team. Ethan Rowell takes
that should be it.
Victory formation. That should be it. And congrats to the Panthers players, Panthers coaches, Panther followers, parents. That's big. To get to level 3, it's huge, and that's a good team we beat. So, from Scott Richards, Aaron Martell, Kurt Zalp, and everybody, Emerson in the studio, good night. We'll thank you for watching and see you next week.
Next Friday night.